Welcome to the 37th edition of the International Documentary Film Festival in Munich, for the first time in a dual edition in the cinema and also online. We are very happy to have Thomas Wolski here with us with his film 1970 in the edition Doc International in the German premiere. Thomas, hello.
Hello.
Nice to have
Hi.
you here in the festival.
Nice to being here. Whatever here means.
Well, whatever here means.
It is.
Where is your here?
Here is in Warsaw, in my office. I'm in my editing room, where I work usually.
You just said the 9th of May is a very special day, and you lived through strange scenes before. Could you just tell us where you're coming from right now?
Two hours ago, there was supposed to be a celebration of victory, Russian Victory Day in Warsaw, and Russian ambassador didn't receive any support from Polish government. I mean, they were prepared for this because they said the Polish government, that the Warsaw authorities said that we won't protect you because there will be a disaster because there are so many Ukrainians, and it's for your safety not to come there. But they did. I mean, some of ambassador came, and some Polish people who supporting Russians, the crazy guys, came with the flowers, and it finished that ambassador was covered with some blood, not his blood, but they are throwing the blood prepared for that occasion. And the other people were also covered with blood, and the people were not allowed to, they bring flowers to the monument, the Russian monument. So yeah, it was, well, actually, that was the really aggressive situation, I would say, of course, from the Ukrainians and from Poles. One of the Russian was, somehow beaten. I mean, he fell down on the floor. So it's unfortunately, it doesn't, this whole aggression is growing and growing, and it doesn't look, good, because inside people, so many things are growing with anger right now. So,
yeah.
I think it's to have a good relation with Russia starting from now. It can take us about dozens of years, and I don't even think how to to fill this gap. What happened right now between the Ukraine and Russia? It looks like it's impossible for 100 years.
I thought. I mean, we saw your film when we selected 1970. We really thought, wow, what a brilliant film on a political, on an aesthetical, on all these levels, right? And we said, wow. But now it is like, well, this film is it has such an actuality. And if you, for example, all the images you can see in the news of Putin sitting at this desk with his 3 telephones, and it reminds me, it's like a perfect matching with your film with all these men on the telephone. The only difference would be the men smoke and Putin doesn't. So how is that for you to have made such a film and now being kind of caught up by reality?
Well, this is somehow funny and sad at the same time. Of course, I would say there are a few layers of this film. First is, of course, the historical layer. It's the things, the events that happened in 1970. And the reason I wanted to make film about this is not because there was such an event in 1970, which is interesting, of course. But there are so many films about this in Poland, reportages, film articles. I found this extraordinary, recordings that we can look from the different perspective.
How did you find them? How did you come across these recordings? Was it known that it existed?
You know, it's complicated to explain. If it's known, it's not. I don't know. I've never heard about this. I was preparing my previous film that was called An Ordinary Country, and this film is about the communistic Poland through the eyes of a Secret Service camera. I was looking for, you know, the camera and recordings, film and recordings. And at some point, because I was digging a lot of this archive in Institute of National Remembrance in Poland, and at some point I found this recording, and I thought that that would be the part of my preview film. But then I realized it's completely different topic. So I had to, you know, I decided to make a film about this. But coming back to these layers that I was talking about, so one of the reasons I want to make this film is because I thought that can show exactly, maybe not exactly, but that can be some kind of example how the mechanism of power is working. The mechanism when the government, when politics, who was chosen by citizens, don't want to talk with the citizens, because the citizens say, okay, we don't like something, we do not agree with something, and then the mechanism shows how, you know, this politics standing against them. They are sending army, the police, militia, and killing them. But you know, it was something that was very current theme in Poland when I was shooting, because we have the black protest. You know, women went on strike because of abortion law, and what police was doing was, you know, was so aggressive and forcing these women and also men. Taking out of the streets, beating them. It was you know, there was a parallel in that situation. And now what's going on right now, that's another thing that I'm really surprised. But at the same time, you know, that's how the politicians are working, unfortunately. How it behaves.
Yeah. In your film, with these different layers, with the archive material and with the stop motion animations, it's so you really achieve to create this distance between the people who give the orders and between the people who suffer under the orders given.
Yeah.
And how did you come to this form, to this animation? How was the work on it? Was it from the beginning, or how did you find this language, this filmic language, to mix these things?
Well, I would say that was by accident. I should say that, you know, that was my you know, initial idea from the beginning. I was so smart to do it, but no. I think that every time we're working on a film, we have to adjust the tools for the topic and for needs. And I had to admit that I don't like animation in documentary films, because usually, not of course, for example, Flea is brilliant. It's a brilliant film, and there are others examples, but mostly, you know, directors are using this documentary as a tool to fill the gaps. If they don't have an archive, they don't have some footage, they do animation, and it's usually very informative. It's for information, not for cinema, you know, for cinematic reasons. And so I at the beginning I didn't think about the animation, but I realized that, you know, I have this phone recordings and I have the brilliant archive footage, but they do not mix together. They do not edit. I cannot edit them together because they are, I would say, a little bit against each other in terms of attention of audience, because the video is so interesting and the audio is so interesting that if you mix them together, the audience do not know which, you know, path to follow.
Yeah, and so, it's very thankful because you use this artificiality. No, so you need this artificial layer to be the bridge between these telephone recordings and the archive material, and it's such a world of its own.
Well, but that was the idea. I just wanted to say that, because I knew that I'm in problem, because I'm in trouble, that I don't know what to do with it. So at some point, I make some kind of imaginary, exercise, trying to see what it could look like if there was a perfect world that someone would do this. And I realized that I was thinking and imagining this photo of these guys, of the politics, exactly shot at that time. They are standing with the phones and smoking cigarettes, looking through the window. And I thought that I will just simply, move my camera closer and closer to this picture, because I knew that I have to help audience to listen to this. I cannot distract the audience. I have to help them. Just a slow movements, slow things. So, and at some point when I reach this photo so close, I go into this photo. This magic trick, film trick, the trick that I could make, and then look around at these characters. They would be freeze. They would not move, but I would move my camera. And from that point, to make this story short, I talked to my friend animator Robert Sowa, and we came with this idea with the puppets, because we thought that the puppets are the best tool for this, because why we resigned from the drawings or other animation techniques, because we thought that the puppets, that the dolls, the puppet, you have to move, that someone has to move with the hands. So for us it was like a metaphor of what was going on in politics in Poland.
The strings, yeah.
Yes, there are strings, and there's someone is forcing these people to do something. So we thought that we will do the puppets. And of course we were thinking, okay, at the beginning we thought if we have some doubts if it should be black and white or color, but we said, okay, we shoot this in color animation and we see how it will edit with black and white. And then we realized it's brilliant because it separates totally these two worlds. I mean, of course we were afraid that this separation will be too much, that was too big, and there will be two different worlds that not combined together. But we realized that there are joining, and there's a symbiosis between these two worlds. And of course we put like in the black and white archives, people are fighting for food. So we knew that politics are never starving, and they do not always have a lot of food, drinks, and everything. So we prepare all the oranges. That was very unique at the time in Poland.
Yeah.
All the oranges, alcohol, and bananas and everything. They were not lacking of food. So these few things that we separate this world, that they did not come together.
They were living the good life. And and I think as well you have also a very elaborate soundtrack, and I think maybe when did this idea of this special sound came? Was it from the very beginning, or was it, or how did this kind of move back and forth in all the creative work?
But you mean about the music?
Yeah.
I mean, that was from the beginning, actually, because all the music and all the sound is prepared by brilliant sound designer Marcin Lenarczyk, and we work with my preview film together, and I really like our collaboration. But in the preview film, we use, the music from 60s and 70s already recorded, very experimental music, and it's also crazy. But here Marcin proposed that I will compose myself, and he's a DJ, and he invite his friend Bartek Tyciński, and they play concert, half an hour concert during the film festival in Gdynia, and they record this concert, and then Marcin, because he's a DJ, he can use all the effects, and he composed, this brilliant soundtrack. and we add more and more because we knew that it building the atmosphere. It sometimes add some tension into this. So yeah, that was actually from the beginning the idea.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was a very lucky. Well, not meeting because you knew each other, but it's a great way to see. It's like a network that grows while doing one film after another, and you have the people you work with, and you can experiment different things because you know each other and you go growing.
Yeah, it's not exactly what you are talking, because unfortunately or fortunately, fortunately, it's I'm a director. I'm also editor, and and a cinematographer. Of course, I need. I didn't do animation. I little play with the dolls, something made by me because I really like this.
You made the dolls?
No. I mean, I played with the dolls.
Okay.
No. There was a whole crew that was preparing these dolls. So no. I didn't do this. But I was playing with them. Make this. To make the scenes. And it's really amazing what can you do, because you can move them, and the hands, the heads, everything. They are adjustable to the scene you like. So you can do your scenario, your scene somehow. And but well, there are few people that the members of the crew. There are only the few people, unfortunately, because I always somehow do myself a lot of things. Mm-hmm. So of course there's my producer and partner in life, and we are working together for, like, I don't know, 16 years already. And because I hate, the sound designing. I like to edit sound, but I don't like. I really, it's the most boring, part of my job. And I don't want to do this, so that's why, I invite Marcin, and of course I cannot compose the music. And that's lucky, because otherwise it would be crazy if I would do everything with that kind of film.
Tomasz, as a filmmaker now, how did your life change in the last months? What does it mean to you, right? This war in Ukraine, the situation with Russia. What does it mean for you as a filmmaker?
Well, it's first of all, I would say, as a person, I'm just shocked, yes, because it's so close. And shocked because of different things, because everyone knew what's going on the border of Belarus before Ukrainian, and how Poles and Polish government was behaving, and what were the decision, the pushbacks. And then suddenly, I would say the whole nation is helping the other nation. We are helping a lot of Ukrainians. So it's crazy. I could say that at some point, something changed. I mean, for example, I was in a Prague in a festival, and I was sitting in a dinner with our friend producer, and she was on her mobile in Prague, and she was trying to help to get some people from Belarus to Poland. Because she has some contact with people who need help, and so she was like, calling, and okay, so you have to call this guy and go here and talk them with this lady, and she was, like a director, but she even didn't knew this people. Someone is passing her phone to the other, and me too. I was, I'm sitting in a restaurant, and I'm receiving, voice messages from a friend, Piotr Pavlus, who's a cinematographer, And he's so crazy. He went, actually, he is right now in Kharkov. And he's shooting, some footage, and also for me, because I asked him, if you are there, maybe you can shoot something for me. I have some idea, and he's sending, all the time, constantly. He's sending some information. Okay, I was driving a car, and after 2 hours, realized the whole road was bombed at the time, and so we are living in a two different worlds, but somehow they are overlapping one each other.
And so it's going to take time. It's what you said before. It's going to take a lot of time. Also, the situation, for example, filmmakers, festivals inviting filmmakers from Russia, from Ukraine, it's not possible anymore, right? So there is a whole new situation and thinking coming up.
You can.
I'm very happy to have you here. We are very happy to show your film, and this film is also nominated for the Kino Publikumspreis, donated by the Bavarian Public Television and Dreisat. So please, if you want to vote for the film, do it. And Tomasz, I wish you all the best. I hope.
Thank you. You too.
I guess we will get a film by you next year or the year afterwards. I don't know. I hope to hear from you, and I wish you all the best. Good luck, and stay safe. Ciao.
Thank you very much.
Ciao,
Thank you
Tomasz.
for the conversation. Right.